Hey everybody, it's Happy Cookie, and I am here with the 2022 winner of the North Carolina Emerging Designer of the Year, Jasmine Trenai.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Jasmine, so talk to us a little bit more about who you are, where are you from?
Okay, well, just a little about me. I was born in Paterson, New Jersey, but I was raised in a really small town here in North Carolina called Elizabethtown. It's kind of like midway between Fayetteville and Wilmington near the coast, but it's a 910.
Okay, okay. And so what age did you do any schooling in New Jersey?
Nope, none at all.
No schooling?
I was 3 years old when I moved down here, so I did all my schooling down here.
Oh, wow, wow. And do you still have a lot of family in Jersey?
I do, actually. I feel like majority of my family is still in New Jersey, but the main meaty part of my family is down here. Like my grandparents, my mom, my brothers, like we're all down here.
Okay, okay. And do you have a big family, small family, lots of siblings, no siblings?
I have 2 brothers, I have a sister, well, she's on my dad's side, so she's like in Jersey, but my brothers, they have lots of kids now, so I feel like I have a pretty big family, and I was raised by my grandparents, so I feel like I was an only child in a sense because I was just me and them for a while.
And are you the youngest?
I'm the oldest, actually.
You're the oldest?
Yes.
Wow, I don't know. I was getting like last.
Firstborn. Yes.
Wow, firstborn. Okay, okay. I'm my mom's firstborn.
Oh.
So I just,
I don't really know how many kids my dad has, but I'm my mom's firstborn.
I feel that.
Shout out to you.
For sure. Okay, so did some of your fashion, did you know that you wanted to get into fashion from an early age?
I feel like I did, and it's weird because, growing up in the house with my grandparents, they're very Christian people, we're not really fashion people. They're not even really into fashion at all. So any clothes I'm getting, I'm wearing like purple sweaters and green pants because, I'm getting dressed by my grandma. So I feel like Barbie pretty much inspired me to get into fashion because it's just playing dress up with her every day and stuff. And, of course, watching TV, like Cheetah Girls and things like that. It's just like, okay, I love clothes. I just want to do stuff with clothes.
Okay. So was it something then that you were like, hey, I'm just gonna pick into, you were more like self-taught? Did you go to school?
At first, I feel like I was self-taught just because my grandma had a sewing machine. I don't know why she had one. She just had one, and she was never using it. I didn't know. I just saw it was there, and I was like, I'm gonna try to make something. And I really did try. I just like to draw things, and I feel like, oh, I'm gonna make this, but okay, I know I can't make this, I don't really know how, but I at least attempted, and I used to make hot glue clothes to make stuff for my Barbies and stuff. And I was great at hot gluing stuff, but yeah, not so much sewing. And I actually went to school one day and told everyone, I'm gonna make y'all some stuff, and I was taking orders and everything, and yeah, no. When they saw the stuff, they was like, what?
So, I got a couple questions and all of that, right? One,
I was so ambitious.
One, do you know how to sew now?
I do. Okay. Thank God, yes.
Okay, I didn't know if you I didn't know. 2, I guess what gave my head was, so you were saying you were drawing stuff. Now, listen, from the movies to the TV shows, I know designers, they're doing these sketches and stuff. Can you sketch well, or do you have to know how to sketch well?
I feel like you have to be able to sketch enough where you at least can read it. Maybe somebody else can't read it, but you know what you're making. But I feel like I can sketch pretty well where people can look at it oh my God, okay, yes, that looks good. That's what I want. And I feel like that's what was enticing people to, want the things, even though I didn't know how to make it at that time. But I do know how to sew now, yes. I actually went to school for fashion design.
Okay.
Yes.
Where did you go to school?
I went to NC State NC State University in Raleigh. Go Pack.
Hey, shout out to Raleigh. Y'all know that's where I'm from.
Went to the College of Textiles. I actually wanted to go to SCAD, but I just didn't want to move to Georgia. So they had a really great College of Textiles program at NC State. And at that time when everyone's like, ooh, go to the HBCU, and I couldn't find one that had the fashion program I was looking for. So I was like, yeah, this is the one. I'm going here.
That's dope too, because I believe my aunt, she went through the same textile program at NC State as well for fashion as well. So that's cool. That's cool that they have like that. That's a good program to be at.
It's a great program. Shout out to y'all. Y'all did that.
Shout out to NC State, even though I'm a Duke fan. So.
Ooh.
Do we have beef?
They know it's beef with, you know, NC State and Duke and Chapel Hill. That's all. That's in their fight song. It's literally in their fight song.
All I'm saying is don't do too much. Don't do too much. Don't do too much.
It's fine. You know, I was never into the sports anyway. I couldn't know a touchdown from a kick, but I don't even know. So
a touchdown from a kick?
I don't know.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So y'all got it.
We gonna stick to fashion.
We gonna stick to fashion.
Bet.
That's what we gonna do.
So I guess you did talk a little bit about like what made you fall, or did you really talk much about what made you fall into fashion? You just talked about how you got into fashion. So what made you fall in love with fashion?
Again, I think it was Barbie. Like, I feel like that's really what steered me into the fashion space because, like I said, at that time, I'm young. I can't afford fashion, so I don't know anything really about fashion. I can't afford magazines. I'm a kid. So I'm like just looking at what I see on TV and stuff, or I'm just inspired by, like, I'm going to Walmart and I'm thinking, oh, I want to pick this shirt to go with Barbie. I want these pants. Like, and I'm buying pieces just so I can piece outfits together. And I'm like, oh, why am I doing? I never really understood, like, why am I doing this at a young age? Or if I couldn't find something, I'm like, I'm gonna make her a skirt that's gonna go with this top. So I was already being a designer and a stylist in a way and didn't even know it until, like, I actually have a video of me putting on a fashion show when I was like 12, like with my Barbies. I like built the backdrop and everything and like was dressing them up in pieces that I made, and they're just like walking down the runway. Like, it's a thing.
You still got the video?
I do, actually.
Let's get that video. We're gonna put that video on the screen. So now, like, just transitioning a little bit into that, right? Mm-hmm. You're making these designs. You went to college at NC State in the textile program. Mm-hmm. Where, when, and how did Kitty and Rhodes, and I guess for the viewers too, we should let them know, what is Kitty and Rhodes? How did that even come into play? What was that timing like? Like, where was that at?
That's interesting because Kitty and Rhodes is actually like the 5th name of my whole collection. It started out as Feminine by Jasmine. Like, that was literally what it was called. That was my first collection at NC State during like I think it was like the Pan-African Week or something they had, and it was like the African American Textile Society. They always have this big fashion show, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna debut. I'm gonna show that I do fashion, and I made some pieces. I think I made like 5 pieces. They were like really okay, but it was just like, I want to show that I'm into, you know, making stuff. And then from there I just started doing fashion shows, and I was like, I really need to come up with a name. And I was just always like, I guess my nickname is like Kitty. Like, people was calling me Kitty and things like that. I guess my grandma said she called me Kitty because I was sneaky. And then like, other people call me Kitty because very like feline-ish or things like that. Or just, I guess I would get that nickname from guys and stuff. So that just always stuck with me. And randomly people just like, hey Kitty, and da-da-da. So that came part of it. And then, so it was initially called just Kitty. And it had like a little cat logo. It was a really funny looking cat I found on wasn't it like Google or something? It was cute. And then later on in life, it changed to Kitty Collection, and then it changed to Kitty Exclusive. And then finally I settled on, okay, what is the brand? Who is the brand? Okay, it's me. And the different sides of me. So it's like the playful, the fun side, and the very business, the Virgo side, the very organized side. So it's like, let's merge those two together. And that's where Kitty and Rhodes came in, because Rhodes is my actual last name. And just put those two together, and it's like, oh, that makes some more sense. Like, it's fun, but it's also, you know, they say business in the front, but like playful in the back. Yeah. It's a little bit of both of those.
That's very interesting when you describe yourself and your personality, because y'all haven't had a chance to see it yet, but I have. And looking at a lot of like the clothes, that makes so much sense.
I feel like I feel like it did it unintentionally. Like, I really wasn't trying to make it that way, but then once I went one day and just audited everything, and I was like, wow, like, it actually does make sense. Like, you can wear this here, or you can wear this there. If you put the right blazer on it, and I make blazers too, so it's like, okay, if you put this together in a certain way, you're wearing this here or there, it doesn't matter. You can go a full day in Kitty and Rhodes if you want to.
Literally. Wow. That's really cool how your personality translates through that.
I appreciate it.
Because I know that's an important thing too. Like, it's like, where is that personality in designs, in anything that you do, whether if you shoot videos, you shooting, you know, pictures, whatever, it's like, where's that personality piece? Because that's the piece that makes it so different. Yeah. Nobody's exactly like you, and that's like that. Yeah. That's
the main thing in fashion, is like, what is that thing that makes you stand out? Because there's so many people there. It's an oversaturated market. So you have to find one thing that makes you different, you know, differentiate yourself from the pack. And that's a very hard thing to do. But I'm glad that people gravitate to my brand and, you know, they feel it in whatever way they feel it, however it makes them feel. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it for them.
And so now you brought up an important thing. You said how it makes them feel.
Yeah.
How does it feel when you put on Kitty and Rhodes? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm finna go to my closet, Kitty and Rhodes. You know what I'm saying? What is that? What's that feeling?
I feel like for I'm not gonna say everyone. I feel like for most people, they just feel really girly. They feel fun, flirty. And then some people, they feel extra. And I feel like for me, it makes me feel extra. Because if you see my daily clothes, I'm always in all black. Like, I'm always just going in and out in some type of all black outfit. Like, even this green today is a stretch for me. So it's like, most of the time, just very much solid. When I put on Kitty and Rhodes, I feel just extra. Like, I'm like, hey, y'all, I'm going somewhere. You don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to pop out somewhere. Like, I like to use a lot of bold prints and things and stuff. And I kind of dialed it back a little bit with my last 2 collections. I did like an all black collection and like an all like red collection. But it's like, I mostly been using like houndstooth. You definitely don't see a lot of that. That shit on everything. I'm sorry, y'all. But it'd be on everything. But, and then I used to use a lot of floral prints in the beginning. I feel like that was more of the feminine side. And most of the time that made people feel very fun and flirty and just whimsical and such. But then I was like, you know what? We got a little edge. And I have a lot of like, I don't know, I'm a little spicy at times. So I feel like I gotta make sure that reads as well.
That's so, and then you mentioned your collections. How many collections have you done? If you can think about it. And what does a collection even consist of? Because if y'all don't know, I don't know. If y'all don't know, I'm curious about what does that even
like a collection.
Yeah, what does that even consist of? Like,
yeah, a collection most times is an assortment of pieces like for this particular season or whatever time period. Like, it can be like spring, summer, or fall, summer, or it can just be all season. But I know all these pieces go together. Like, you can interchange them out, or it's just they're all part of this one collection of things. And most time we give it a name. Most designers give it a name, like, oh, this is spring and autumn, like, or something like that, be an extra. But sometimes I don't even name them. I'm just like, here, this is this collection, take it. Or most time it's very personal to us, and a lot of times we will name it. Like, I did a collection during COVID. It was called Mixed Feelings, and everything was very like hodgepodgey, like very mixed prints, mixed fabrics, all types of things, just because I was very confused during that time. It was a very confusing time for a lot of people, and I didn't know how I felt. I didn't know if I wanted to continue designing. I didn't know what to do. So I'm just piecing things together. It literally, it's almost like a Raggedy Ann collection. It was confusing, but I feel like that's what a lot of designers go through, is all of our pieces are very personal. I actually get very much attachment anxiety to a lot of my pieces. I don't want to give them up, or I don't want to sell them. That was one of my major things in the beginning, not selling, because I wanted to keep everything for myself. So that was a weird thing. But yeah, I'm over that phase now. Shop the website. But
shop the website. Shop the website. What's your website say?
It's kittyandrhodes.com.
Shop kittyandrhodes.com. We're not asking. It is what it is. Okay, so, and then last question before we get too deep into that. How many items, what's the minimum requirement of items?
For a collection?
For a collection.
Now that is solely based on the designer. Like, it can be 3. Like, and it could be something as low as 3, or it can be as high as like 20, 40 pieces. I've seen runway shows that go from like 45 pieces. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. But a lot of those people have like a house of, you know, seamstresses, designers, so they're all making stuff for this one person, like a Chanel or something like that. You know, they're gonna have, that's their collection, but that's a lot of pieces. Most of the time, the most I'll ever put in a collection is like 10 at the most. 10. Maybe 10 to 12. That's probably the most it's gonna give.
Okay. And speaking of those collections, so you said you've done a plethora of collections, right? From your time, and this is from dating from NC State. I feel like 2014. I graduated in 2013 from NC State, and I went back to school to get my master's in business. And so I graduated from there in 2016. But I feel like I didn't start Kitty and Rhodes until 2016. So 2016, what year is it?
It is now 2023.
It's 2023.
Yeah.
Y'all, I promise I'm not working too much. Like, so 4 to 7 years. 7 years.
Is not math, but yeah.
We're not here for math, so that's okay.
I'm like, hold on,
7 years, and you've done quite a few. You say more than 5.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Probably about at least 12, I feel like, since then. Yeah.
And speaking in, I want to talk about one particular collection that you've done. your SHEIN collection, how did that come apart? When did that come out?
That actually came out in 2021. Yes, it was August 2021. So it's been on there for a full year now. It was crazy. I was on Instagram and there's this designer I follow from Project Runway, Kenya Moley, and I saw that she had recently released a collection on SHEIN. I was like, oh my God, that's so dope. And I went and bought her jacket and everything, super dope. And I was tagging her in the picture like, yeah, girl, I did that. And then she just like, was like, oh, she reposted and everything, and I saw her tagging her story like, oh, SHEIN next future designer. I was like, ooh, that's a thing? So I go on the SHEIN website and I saw that they had an application. And I was like, this is an application? Is that simple? Okay. So I went on there, felt like actually it was not that simple. It was a lot. So, but thankfully, thank God, like I went to school for fashion design, so I understand CAD design and, Adobe Illustrator, creating everything in the digital space. So that's pretty much what I had to do, create my own tech pack, create the sketches, but in a digital format, put them on a Croquis, like design the collection, and they choose what pieces they want, and then they move forward. They'll like X this out or be like, hey, can you change this where, because SHEIN is a fast fashion thing, so they only have a limited amount of fabrics they can choose from. So I'm choosing these super expensive fabrics. If I wanted it this, and this, and they're like, no, you can't get none of that. So you gotta pick something on this list here. And I'm like, God dang, this is terrible. But okay, so I had to make it work with fabrics they got. Went through a lot of rounds of changes. They sent me some sample pictures. And I was like, oh, that's horrible. Please fix that. Or you only get one change of sample, which is crazy too. So I was like, if this is terrible, we're just gonna go to production like this. And that's one of the dresses. Absolutely hate, but it's fine. But the other ones, I'm like, they're great, they'll work. And once I got the email said, you're approved, all this is gonna go through, you're gonna be released in September. It was like February of that year that I knew. It didn't come out until September of that year, so I couldn't. And it was so like, it was crazy because I felt like I was in New York at the time for Fashion Week, and I was just out there doing stuff, and I was like, oh shoot, it dropped on SHEIN this morning, that's dope. And I'm just so weird when it comes to like things happening in my life. I'll be like, oh, that's cool, I love that, that's awesome. But I'm not, people are like, you're not excited enough for me, like, SHEIN. I was like, you're right, you're okay. Hey y'all, look, it's on SHEIN. Yeah, because I feel like, what stuff is meant for you is just meant for you. So it's like, you felt like it was that time to go into that door. And I felt like it was just that time for me at that time. So I was like, thank you, God, you put that in place, I'm ready. That's dope.
Yeah, it was in step.
Yeah.
What has doing the SHEIN collection, what has that done for you? You know what I'm saying? It could be in any way, mentally, professionally, emotionally. Like, what has having a collection on SHEIN done for you?
It was definitely a morale booster for me. Just feeling like, wow, like this is, I shop on here all the time. And now if I type in Kenny Rhodes, my stuff is on here too. Like that was a full circle thing for me. That's when it really hit me like, wow. Okay, you might be already doing stuff, like you might be already doing something. And it's just, and I also felt like it was confirmation for me to let me know that, okay, you're moving in the right direction, you do know what you know, and you can use that to be great. So it's a great resume booster for sure, and I'm still getting paid from them, so that's awesome. So it's like, as long as just feeling like I needed that to really solidify my feeling as, okay, you are a designer. You're not just a person making clothes. You're not a hobbyist. Like, you are a designer. Do your thing now. Use this to get to the next step. Use this to get to the next step. So now I can use it as a talking point when I'm, speaking to people like, hey, I'm such and such and such. And, I have a collection on SHEIN. Make sure it's like a conversation piece now, even if it's like a lot of the items are sold out. I think it's still like maybe 4 pieces still on there, but it's like, that's still a conversation piece where you're like, hey y'all, if you go on SHEIN, you can find what, your stuff's on SHEIN? Yeah, so that way they'll feel like, because a lot of this industry that we're in is very vain. It's very much perception is greater than reality type of thing. So they want to perceive your value more than what your value actually is. So, you just gotta you gotta pad the resume. You gotta, inflate some things. You gotta make it look, but I'm glad that these things exist so that I don't have to exaggerate. I can be like, no, I really do be doing stuff. Like it's really there. But, sometimes it just adds that little extra sprinkle, little extra sprinkle on top.
Yeah. And I've got 2 things into that. Yeah. It's just, you caught me. I know I was supposed to leave, but I ain't leaving yet.
That's fine.
I'm not leaving. So with the SHEIN, first one is just the one I gotta get off the top of my head.
Yes.
Is it SHEIN or SHEIN? Because I be saying SHEIN, you saying SHEIN, and I'm just like,
SHEIN. It is literally SHEIN, like she and then in. Yep, I thought it was SHEIN too, and then so they sent a whole packet and they said like, this is how it's pronounced, like SHEIN, like in the packet that they sent me.
I was gonna ask you who your sources are because mine is Twitter, and Twitter be debating.
So I'm gonna get on Twitter and let them know, look, it is SHEIN.
It's SHEIN.
And they confirmed it.
So y'all, this whole time I've been loud and wrong. Just know that.
I love the way they did it too, in little parentheses, like SHEIN. I was like, shoot.
They said y'all better stop messing up my name.
Which is good too, because there is like a whole bunch of other brands out there, and there's another brand called SHEIN, and then it was like, okay, that can be really confusing. But that's SHEIN, so that makes sense.
Wow. Well, there we got it. SHEIN is confirmed. If you're seeing it, it's SHEIN. If you were saying SHEIN, you're wrong. That's all I got for you. All right. So I know you've talked a little bit about, and correct me if I'm wrong, please. We're only doing facts up here. Your SHEIN collection, you said, was dropped in 2021.
Yes.
So it is now 2023. Where are you at now? Like, what's going on now?
Right now, let's see. So all of 2022, I was pretty much shopping the SHEIN collection. I actually did I feel like I did a tour at the end of 2023 where I was doing like, I think it was like 5 shows back to back, like from November to December, just showing my newest collection at that time, which didn't have a name. It was just Kitty and Rose, the experience. And I was just, showing that collection at different places and just building clientele. So mostly my day-to-day exists with me just building clothes for people. Like they're contacting me for consultations, discussing what they're going for. And then, we're going over inspiration, fabric swatches, things like that. And then we're shopping for their pieces and putting it together, or I'm working as a wardrobe stylist for different people on sets. So I recently just got back from LA working with this hair company that I was styling their models and for the NAHA Awards. It was like the North American Hairstyling Awards. So I was out there, ended up actually getting pulled as a model too. That was weird, but it was fine.
She models too, added to the resume.
Sometimes it just go hand in hand just because you gonna wear the clothes and I'm definitely gonna wear the clothes. So it's like, so I do a lot of that too, a lot of on-set things in the styling space as well. So sometimes I'll make stuff for it, or sometimes I'll help them curate the looks and everything. So it all goes hand in hand. But after that, it's like the stuff is, like I said, still on SHEIN. You can still shop it, still get those royalties. I love it. But other than that, I'm on to the next thing now. I'm really trying to figure out what's the next space as far as strategic brand placements. Working with certain influencers, things like that, working with certain celebrity stylists, that type of space. So I'm moving and traveling in that space right now, working with different people, finding out measurements and sizes for different people. So if you pop up and see something on somebody, I'm letting you know that's what I'm working on right now.
That's what she's doing. And real quick, I just want to take it back because I want to make sure I understand.
Yeah.
You said I'm shopping the collection. That just means showcasing it?
Yep, pretty much just taking it around, letting people know, hey y'all, this is me, different places that I hadn't been and stuff, so they can know, who you are, showing them around like, hey, this is Kitty and Rose, and just trying to let them know that I exist and let them know you can shop the collection on the website. I actually never put the newer collection on the website just because it was at a space when I was just like, I didn't know if I was feeling it all the way. And that happens a lot of times. You can't make some stuff that you're just not all the way happy with. It can be done, it can be complete, but it's just not speaking to you, and it just wasn't speaking to me. So now I'm working on my newest collection, which will be for this year, which is actually going to drop in July, and it's gonna be way more what I was actually going for last year. Yeah.
And I know you had hit on the point about like this year and kind of moving forward, you're like, hey, I want to make sure I'm making more strategic brand placements, like that it's in line with who you are, who the brand is, so that it can further propel you, right?
Right.
So if you do, and I'm not sure if you have any on hand or in mind, do you have any particular brands that you would love to work with? Brands, people, because you're also
people
styling.
Are brands too, yes.
Yeah.
Like, I know for sure I'm definitely trying to work with Coco Jones. She is like one of my new favorites right now. And basically, I guess somewhat because of the Hillary Banks thing. Like, I like her music too, but it was more so her personality on the Bel Air show. And it was funny because I was working on a song like long before the Bel Air thing came out, and it was called Hillary Banks. But then when I was about to drop the song, I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like people won't feel like I'm that Hillary Banks, but now when this Hillary Banks came out, I was like, oh, yeah, it's perfect. Like, it makes complete sense. Because she's a brown skin girl, she's chocolate, I love it. This is perfect. So I'm definitely about to try to merge with her in some type of way. I was really, really, really trying hard to merge with Yara Shahidi for the longest. And there actually came an opportunity to do it, and then it was like, they just dropped the whole competition that they were having. It was crazy. Like, I was like, really? Like, every time. So, but it's okay. Like, you know, when things are meant for you, it's going to happen and stuff like that. But the whole competition just literally just went away after I did all that work and doing the submission and everything like that. And I was like, okay, it's okay. And then I'm trying to pick a TV platform or something like that makes the most sense. Like Project Runway, I don't feel like that would make the most sense. Like, it either have to be like a Next in Fashion, you know, or something like that. But,
y'all check it out. I've been binging that show, by the way.
It's a great show.
I'm literally almost done Next in Fashion. And I could see that too, because as you were talking, that's definitely what I was imagining.
Yes.
And curious, so I know you mentioned Coco Jones. You mentioned Yara Shahidi.
Yes.
Right? Do you currently have any pieces that like, hey, I could see them wearing this?
For sure, especially for Coco Jones. And for Yara Shahidi, I made all those pieces specifically for her. But
do you have those pieces?
I don't have.
Do you have photos of them?
I think I do.
If you got photos for them, we're going to put them on the screen, and we're going to make sure that we tag Yara Shahidi. We are tagging you, Coco Jones. We are tagging you. We're going to put what her looks that she's designed would probably best maybe fit what you have going on. Let us know.
For the female character, I chose Zoe Johnson, and it was hard to choose one, so I chose 3. First sketch shows a sporty look with a tartan plaid and a wool leather combo bomber. The second look shows a houndstooth blazer dress with button details. And the third look shows a plunging flared dress with a matching corset and a fun abstract print.
Yes. And look, we're gonna pop up at her concert. We're gonna bum rush the concert. We're gonna be like, here's the box. Take this, wear this, go. But luckily, you know, my partner that I'm with, he has a lot of strategic relationships that he's built as well, like people like Misa Hilton and things like that. So, you know, there's doors and there's windows to, you know, slide little things in here and there. And he works with a lot of like celebrity stylists as well. So I can, you know, alley-oop something over to him and he can be like, here, put this on. Because most of the time when he tells somebody to put something on, they'll just put it on. So thank God for him, you know, for him just being that person there, because that just makes life so easy. I swear to God.
So that's dope that you do have those people and partnerships in mind.
Yes.
And I think where I want to transition at in this here is how can, we may not, Yara Shahidi may see this, Coco Jones, you may see this, but if you don't, and those who are watching, how can those that are watching currently right now best support you?
I would say the best way you can support me would be to, of course, follow me on Instagram at Kitty and Rhodes. You can subscribe on the website, but I feel like you can just, you know, DM me, and I respond to my Kitty Rose DMs way more than I respond to my personal page. But I would, you know, just hit me up on there and let me know if you're looking for something specific, because you don't always have to, you know, purchase what's on my website. That's the things that came from my brain. Like, I want to help you curate something for, you know, you, and I want it to be a custom, you know, custom piece that I made for you. Now, I'm not going to make something somebody else made, so don't send me a picture or something like, I want this. Like, no, you buy that from them. But come to me and be like, hey, I want you to make me something, and then we'll have a consultation, we'll discuss, we'll have wine, and we'll, you know, figure out what you want.
Yeah, it's a creation, it's art.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
It's an experience. I always want it to be an experience with my people.
Yes. Thank you. So again, y'all, please DM her if you have looks in mind. I mean, creators at all levels, as long as, of course, you know, you can help out her in that way financially as well. Please, that helps. Please come together, DM her, hit her up to come together with some joint looks that can be new, different, for sure. So I just want to thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to thank you. This has been so amazing, so dope. I'm so
it.
happy that, you know, you got up here to be able to tell your story. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that's watching that may be into fashion, that just may be into creatives, that can definitely just learn a lot from what you have been giving out. This is a lot of free information, you know what I'm saying, that you can take this and apply. She literally has a collection on SHEIN. Y'all be designing.
And they have an application on their website.
And I didn't even freaking know that. I don't know if y'all knew. You know what I'm saying?
It's still there. They're looking to hire 500 more designers just for next year. So get on that.
Exactly. Exactly. So again, thank you so much, Jasmine Trenai, American fashion designer, and also the winner of the 2022 Carolina Fashion Awards, emerging designer. So we're out. It's Happy Cookie World. Shout out to the team. Shout out to the creatives. One love.